Have you ever thought about how April showers bring May flowers? Because, yeah, that's currently what's happening right now where I live, which is great. I love flowers, even if I'm pretty allergic to pollen. Not like deathly allergic, but definitely allergic where I'm going to be sneezing all the time. So, yeah, it's a double-edged sword, to say the least. Anyways, hello everybody, this is That Manga Dude, and welcome to a good old-fashioned reading log. This past month, in April, I read... Let's see, let's get the official amount. 51 volumes, which, considering how much was going on in April, that's pretty impressive, for me at least. I'm very happy with those numbers. Obviously, I wish it could be higher, but, you know, I can only read so much. My brain can only absorb so much information. Anyways, it's going to be a fun one. There's been a lot of cool stuff that I managed to read, and also some very weird stuff that I managed to read, which we'll get to that when we get to that. So, let's start it off right now. Okay, so the first manga that I read in April 2024 is the absolutely fantastic, lovely Dandadan, Volume 7 from Yukinobu. Tatsu continues the absolutely wacky story of these two kids and their friends and various other people about aliens and spirits and demons and stuff. It is so chaotic and so much fun. It's just like a joy to read. And it's not like it's like a short read either. You're going to have a great time just like enjoying the art. The characters are all great, and yeah, just continues the story from Volume 6, which Volume 6 left off on a pretty large cliffhanger, and Volume 7 got some more wacky stuff going on, especially with like the metal band, which if you know, you know. But yeah, Dan's fantastic. It's definitely worth a shot if you just love a crazy, chaotic shonen series. Alright, up next, I decided to read the first volume of Bless from Yukino Sonoyama, which ended up getting one of my highest ratings for the FBI in April 2024. Loved this volume. I thought it was fantastic. The series looks like it's going to be really great. Can't wait to get into it. To give you a short synopsis, follows a story about this guy here, who is a former model who wants to become a makeup artist, who ends up teaming up with this girl, who is kind of like the class rep, and was just gonna kind of do the makeup because she had to, but actually switches roles with him to be the model for this specific like show that's going on at their high school, and they're allowed to do what they love, and it completely changes them forever. So it's about their journey with all that. It's great. I love it a lot. This first volume was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. The art is so gorgeous. So many beautiful moments too, just emotionally and also artistically. Just overall, very great first volume. Loved it a lot. If you want my full opinions on this, go check out the FBI. You'll get a full synopsis and full tackling of everything in there. Because, yeah, love this one a lot. Alright, up next, decided to read the 11th volume of Spy Family from Tatsuya Endo. And, yeah, it's Spy Family. These volumes are not coming out quick enough for me to care too much, I'm going to be completely honest. So, I'm not necessarily enjoying Spy Family as much as I used to. I still think it's a very good series. I think it's a very easy series to pick up as well. So very good for beginners. But yeah, definitely because these releases are extremely slow, makes it a little bit harder for me to enjoy it. But yeah, it just continues the story after the boat saga, going into like I guess like the next part, which is like the mom saga. We got the crazy bus, the bus scene, which was pretty spicy, but yeah, I wish these volumes were coming out quicker, but still enjoy the series a lot. Alright, up next, I decided to read the third volume of Nina the Story Bride, and we get into the part where she finally meets the prince that she is destined to marry, and holy crap, tensions are super high. I was stressed out this entire volume, but absolutely loved it. Love this series. It's really, really good. If you have never heard me talk about Nina the Story Bride from Rikachi, basically for a story about this girl here, who is kidnapped to become the former priestess slash princess of the kingdom, because the former princess slash priestess was killed in a carriage accident, I believe, if I remember correctly. And yeah, it's just, man, it's just a really, really good series. Love the political drama, love this kind of romance that's building up, and just love the intensity of everything. I don't know, there's something about how lighthearted it can be, but also how intense it can be. Just really good series overall, and definitely worth checking out. Alright, coming up next, another series that I absolutely love, Akane-banashi Volume 5 from Yuki Suenaga and Takamasa Moue. one of my favorite Shonen Jump series coming out right now. It is so good. I've talked about it at length on this channel, so I'm not going to talk about it too much here, but love that we get to meet another female high-ranking Rakugo expert, which is really cool, and she is completely awesome. Love her a lot, and yeah, just I love the overall story and the characters, and I love the development that we're getting, even within the 5th volume, so fantastic stuff. Absolutely love it. Go check it out. Alright, up next, decided to read the 1st volume of Sketchy from Maki Hirochi. This is a really interesting series, and I completely forgot / didn't know that this was going to come out. But this basically follows the story about this girl here who works at a video store, and it's kind of just like, doesn't really know what she wants to do with life, kind of feels like she's kind of lost all her inhibitions for everything. So one day she catches these people skateboarding, and she's kind of inspired to want to go skateboarding herself, and lo and behold, that's what she does. So it's just a really, really fun, kind of like slice of life, kind of like, almost like a coming of age in a way, even though she's a little bit older, she's in her 30s at this point. But man, it's just got really solid writing. Definitely feel sometimes how she feels, because I'm getting close to 30 as well, and sometimes I feel like my hobbies, other than manga, of course, are a little bit dead, and I'd like to like re-experience those, or be able to experience a new hobby that I might really, really enjoy. And I think it's really cool that it shows skateboarding, because I feel like skateboarding, for a lot of people, is like a young person's sport, but I feel like anybody can really skate, and that's awesome. So the art's pretty solid. I just really like it. I really like it a lot. It also features like interviews from various like actual skateboarders, which is really cool. So if you like skateboarding, if you like like an older main character who's learning a new hobby, definitely go check it out. It's great. Up next, decided to read The Fable, Omnibus 1 from Katsuhisa Minami. I talked about this in the FEI, but for a quick little review, liked this one a lot. I thought it was hilarious. I think the art is not my favorite per se. I don't usually like these kind of like more realistic designs or drawings and stuff, but man, the comedy is it's so good. It's so dry. Absolutely loved the writing, and I'm really excited to see where this goes, even though it doesn't feel like a lot has actually happened in a way, but man, I did really like this 1st volume. Coming up next, I read the 2nd volume of Pastel from Toshihiko Kobayashi, and yeah, not have much to say about this series. Like I mentioned with the 1st volume, I was kind of like, oh yeah, it's basically a shonen rom-com, and the other 2nd volume, yep, it is definitely a shonen rom-com. It is the shonen rom-com. Yeah, that's it. So it's pretty fun. I mean, it's funny, it's a little goofy, it's a little silly. Obviously, it's got its typical tropes that you would expect from a 2000s rom-com, so you're going to get a lot of ecchi, kind of like flashing moments. Oh, the girl lost her towel. Oh no, what a surprise. So it's nothing too special, but I'm still enjoying it. So yeah, we'll be keep on reading it, obviously. Alright, up next, I read the 2nd volume of Marriage Toxin from Jomyaku, and art from Mizuki Yoda. Yeah, another series that I really, really enjoy. This one is just like, it's so, you would never expect it to be as silly as it is, because it really gives off more of like an action only kind of series, but man, no, this is an action comedy all the way through. Follows the story about this, basically he's the head of the Poison clan, the Poison Master clan, so he's supposed to be the head, but he hasn't had a child because he doesn't know how to date or talk to women. So his sister is unfortunately going to have to be forced to marry someone to create an heir for the Poison clan. So in order to avoid that from happening, because she's already found the love of her life, he has made it his like duty to find a woman to marry. And yeah, it's just overall it's a really silly manga. I really like the art. The art's great. I think the comedy, once again, is just on top of it. It's so funny. Got me dying in multiple parts. Got this crazy little shark man, or I guess it's just an actual shark. But yeah, this is just this like super serious like assassin who's just trying to learn how to date. It's very funny. I love it a lot. Definitely give it a shot. It's really cool. Alright, up next, set to read the third volume of Under Ninja from Kengo Hanazawa. And whoa, I was not expecting this specific volume to get as serious as it did. I feel like we got like a massive plot twist, which I was not expecting, but really love where the story is going with this one. I've talked about this one a few times, but just to give a quick synopsis, basically follows a story about this kind of loser, I would say, who is also a ninja, and he does like ninja work. And he has been tasked to, I think it's infiltrate a high school, or it could be a junior high school. It's one of the two. He has to try to infiltrate one of them in order to find out some information for his like corporation, and while all this other stuff is going on in the background about ninjas and this Russian dude, it's a really strange manga. It's from the same guy who did I Am a Hero, I believe it's the same manga. So if you want that kind of like style story with the same kind of art, definitely give it a shot. Been enjoying this one quite a bit. It's been a lot of fun. Alright, up next, excited to read Neighborhood Story Volume 2 from Ayazawa, and yes! We finally got to the relationship. Really excited to see where this relationship is going to go with the main character and one of the guys. Won't say exactly who, but if you've read it, I mean, you should probably know already, but I love this release, just as a random fact. I just really like it a lot. I think Viz really went all out, thank God. We got some beautiful color pages and stuff like that, and just like some overall really nice illustrations that we usually don't get for like these kinds of like bigger volumes, or just like volumes in general from Viz. So you know what, kudos to them for once. Happy that they've released a series. I've been loving this a lot. Definitely makes me want to read Nana. Alright, up next, I read the last two volumes of Full Moon O Sagashite from Arina Tanamura. This is volumes 6 and 7, and yeah, this is the end of the series, and I very grossed out. Not gonna lie, I was loving the series, and then it just, the way it ends, it's not good. It's not good. I don't like that she gets with one of her dad's friends. That is so weird. I don't care if she's like 3 or 4 years older. He's also probably in his 30s, so that's very gross, very disgusting. Don't like it at all. Hate it. Can't lie. Still like Arina Tanamura's art. I just wish that this story was a little bit better, to be completely honest. But that's about as much as I can say about it without completely tearing it a new one. I feel like I already kind of did, but yeah, overall, I thought the series was okay. I thought it had some really good themes. I just really don't like how the ending is set up, and I really don't like who ends up with who. It's just, yeah. Alright, up next, I decided to read the 4th volume of My Girlfriend's Child from Mamoru Aoi, and I love this volume. This is a couple that is wonderful, absolutely lovely, really fantastic, and we finally get to meet her dad, and it's just like the most, I don't know, it's not triggering for me specifically, but it just you could feel, I don't know, is it like secondhand trauma? I don't know how to explain it, but like it feels so visceral and real. It almost feels like that the writer has gone through something similar, or is just really, really good at writing this, because like just the moment between the dad and her is just, wow, it was really difficult to read. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's been one of the times where I kind of had to pause. One of the first times ever, because it just felt so real, and I've never really felt that with a manga before. So if you just want an absolutely fantastic, well-written, very important series, especially about teenage pregnancy and the reactions of people around you, I think this series is a must-read. It is so good. I love it, and really, really happy I read this. Alright, up next, decided to read the 6 volumes of Cardcaptor Sakura. These are from the 2 box sets that I got, and yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. This series is super fun. Follows the story of this girl, Sakura, who is busy doing a variety of things, as she has now become like the cloud card master, I guess, in a way. So she has to collect these things called the cloud cards, which are these cards that were created by a famous, not famous, but like I guess he's like a magician or whatever you want to call him, named Clow, I don't really know how to pronounce it. Anyways, so she's trying to collect them all in order to become the master of it. And yeah, it's a really fun series. Clamp is at its finest, has some just absolutely gorgeous art. Really love the art in this. Love the character designs for the most part. I think the guys are hilariously misproportioned, but whatever, that's an opinion. But Yeah, I could see the hype. I could see why people really love this series. I think one of the biggest things that I find really questionable is just the amount of relationships with the age gap, especially the one with the teachers. Why are there so many teacher/student relationships? It's just very weird. Don't like it. And yeah, I will continue to say that, but overall, still a really great time. Really enjoyed this one, and yeah, really excited to continue reading Cardcaptor Sakura. Alright, up next, sad to read the first volume of Snowball Earth from Yuhiro Sugisugu. Yeah, this was a really cool one that I read during the my April 2024 FBI. Basically, it follows a story about this guy here who is kind of like the hero prodigy. So he's basically been like training his entire life in order to save the Earth from all these aliens. And he has teamed up with this robot here in the background in order to save Earth. And as they're proceeding with this specific like mission, everything goes basically completely awry, and the robot shoots him out and is like, I want you to, enjoy your life, survive, and hopefully everything goes good. And he basically blows himself up. It's a really emotional moment, specifically in the first volume, but he goes into cryosleep for about 7 years and lands back on Earth, and he is dreaming of waking up to humans and everybody being happy, but lo and behold, the entire world is covered in snow, and there's no one around, so it appears that everyone has died. So he is now going to proceed to find out what the heck happened and what is going on. It's really good, honestly. I thought it was fantastic. The art is super cool. Loved it a lot. Love the action. It's really just a solid manga across the board. The mystery is also like really interesting too. I'm like kind of curious as to where they're gonna go with this. But yeah, lovely first volume. Can't wait to read the next one. Alright, up next, excited to read the 29th volume of Komi Can't Communicate from Tomohito Oda. And all I can say about Komi Can't Communicate is, it's Komi. Alright, I decided to read the first volume of Gokura Kugai from Yuto Sano. Yeah, this one is fantastic. Another one I did during the FVI. Man, there was the April FVI was very difficult. It had a lot of fantastic series that I had the fortune and misfortune to have to review and compare to one another. But yeah, really liked this one. I thought the action was great. I think the character designs are fantastic. If you don't know about the series, follows a story about these two characters here who run basically like an agency where they troubleshoot issues and problems, but are mostly the ones who are figuring out what is going on with these disappearances that are going on. And you come to find out there are these things called Magas, which is hilarious, also known as disaster beasts, and they're the ones who are defeating them because those monsters are the ones who are basically kidnapping people. So it's a really cool series. I really like it a lot. Really excited to see where this one goes. Has some absolutely fantastic art and a pretty cool story. So yeah, can't wait to jump into that second volume when it comes out. Alright, up next, another one that I didn't talk about, but this one is End Roll Back. Just recently came out, actually. This is volume 1 from Kantetsu and Haruna Nakazato. Really flipping cool first volume, and honestly very impressive debut series for Alien Books, which is a new publisher. They are under, I believe it's Valiant. I think they are. It's one of the V's. They're originally a comic book publisher. Now they're getting into manga with their new imprint called Alien Books, and this is one of the first series that they printed. And yeah, I was very, very impressed. This was a cool series just across the board, but it follows a story about this guy here who unfortunately lost his sister to unaliving herself, and so now he is basically sent into this world because he wants to find out who led her to that happening. It's a really emotional series, but yeah, it's a really cool mystery as well because he basically gets sent back 3 months before she loses her life, and he has to try to find out who did it. And if he can guess and kill that person, then he can basically do something. I don't really know exactly what's going to happen, but he's basically trying to find out, and he is now like the substitute teacher for her class. It's really, really interesting. Got me hooked from page 1, and the art's really cool, and it's also just a really good release in general. So really excited to keep reading this one, and yeah, there's only 3 volumes of this, so yeah, very interested to see where the rest of this series goes. All right, up next, I decided to finish off Gacha Gacha. This is volumes 4 and 5 from Hiroyuki Tamakoshi. And yeah, this is the end of the series with volume 5, which ends about as good as you'd expect it to, which is, yeah, it's fine. I wasn't super impressed with the series, but I did enjoy it for what it was. It's just kind of like a silly, once again, shonen rom-com, a lot like Pastel in that aspect. Follows into a lot of typical or stereotypical tropes, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, if you're looking for something that's like, you know, super good, I wouldn't say this is like the best, but for a 5-volume series, I think it was enjoyable. In the last volume for this stack, we have ourselves King in Limbo, Volume 2 from Ai Tanaka. I absolutely love this series. I've talked the crap off of people's ears about this specific one. So if you want my full opinions on this, you should go check out the FEI. But just to give you a quick, you know, Volume 2 redux or review, absolutely love this volume. I thought this was a really good volume. Once again, one of those series that the mystery is fantastic. It's got me stressed out because the action's really intense, and also just like the political bullcrap that's going on in the background. Ooh, but really love this one, and definitely worth a read. Go check it out. It's got gorgeous art, and it's a really good release as well. So yeah, go check it out. All right, let's continue. We have ourselves Volume 6 of Shy from Bikini Mickey. Another fantastic volume. We're finally getting more. We're finally getting the volume where we enter into like that giant circle or whatever you want to call it that encompassed during Volume 5. And yeah, we get to see some of the abilities of some of the other heroes, which is really cool. Especially him. He's great. I love the fights. It's just a really strange and kind of just really fun series, but been loving it and really happy to have read this and picked it up. Up next, decided to read Dinosaur Hour from Hitoshi Shioya. So, in one of my random pet peeves, I really don't like it when they put a number, especially if it's a 1-volume series, because I just don't like it, because it makes it seem like there's another volume, and there's not. But yeah, this is just a very cute, silly series. Follows a story about a variety of different like dinosaur short stories. Mostly just like kind of joking, kind of fun, and you get some information about the various dinosaurs. But yeah, I thought it was great. I had a fun time with it. It was just a nice, light, simple read. Kind of nice from all of like the more intense reads that I've been reading recently. All right, up next, decided to read Zom 100 Volume 10 from Haru Aso and Kotaro Takata, which this one was fantastic. We got to finish up the like the gambling whatever arc. I don't know what that one's. I don't know what you want to call it. Like the gambling town arc, going into the geisha and into the pilgrimage arc. I guess is that what you'd call it? I don't know, but really great series. Been loving this one a lot. I talked about it at length on this channel, so yeah, this volume was pretty cool. Just continuing the series. Been liking a lot. Alright, decided to read the first volume of BL Metamorphosis from Kaori Surutani, which is a series that I have been waiting to read for some reason. I don't know why, I just haven't read it, but love this first volume. It's really great. Follows a story about this older woman here who decides to go to a bookstore and is trying to find like a new book to read, and decides to pick up kind of on accident BL, and basically gets like super inclined, super enjoying reading it, so she decides to go back to that same like bookstore and finds this girl here who also likes to read BL, and yeah, they become friends and start to read BL together. It's really fun, it's really cute, it's wholesome. Yeah, just really enjoy it. I think it's really good, just across the board. Just seeing like kind of like a normal friendship between an older woman and this like high schooler. We appreciate these kind of like platonic friendships. Don't need no weird relationship. We just want to be friends and talk about BL. It's pretty great. Really like this first volume. Alright, after that, I decided to read the third volume of The Summer Hikaru Died from Moku Mokuren. Holy crap, this one was super stressful because we get one of these characters who kind of has found out what is going on in a way. And yeah, just got me all super stressed out. Loved it, which is funny to say, but really good volume just across the board. And definitely gives it a shot if you're looking for more of like an eerie, atmospheric horror series and less of like a jump scare, grotesque one. Really fantastic, just very good across the board. Up next, decided to read the 22nd volume of Jujutsu Kaisen from Gege Akutami. I talked about it a little bit during my pickups, but I've been really kind of fallen off on Jujutsu Kaisen in a way. I think the culling games have really slowed it down a lot, and I think that's really just because the Jujutsu Kaisen volumes have been coming out so slow, which, I mean, it is what it is, but I'm really happy we got more information about Maki and more fights with Maki because she's a great character. And yeah, we finally got like an actual fight with her. This whole volume is about her and the arrow guy. But yeah, really not liking the pacing in these volumes because it feels like we're only getting like a fight per volume, and it feels like we're kind of just jumping all over the place. And so it makes it kind of difficult to fully enjoy the series. But yeah, like the volume, and we'll continue to read it. Alright, up next, decided to read the second volume of Comic Party from Sekihiko Inoue. Really silly series about this guy who is kind of going to college, but has kind of dropped out / just kind of skipping class in order to make comics for Comic Cat, basically. And yeah, it's just a really silly series. Very just odd, funny. If you're just looking for like a strange, just like constantly bonkers series about creating like doujin and creating like fan comics and stuff like that, give it a shot. It's pretty funny. Up next, decided to read the second volume of After the Rain from Jun Miyazuki, and absolutely love this volume. Really liked it in comparison to the first volume. I think we're getting a lot more development between a lot of the characters, especially their friendships and relationships. And we're starting to see like kind of like the main girl kind of like trying to discover what her feelings truly are for this guy, for the manager. And yeah, just really liked this volume. I thought it was really good. Alright, up next, decided to read the fourth volume of Dinosaur Sanctuary from Itaru Kinoshita and research consultant Shinichi Fujiwara. Yeah, love this series. It's one of my favorite, just like chill, relaxed, pretty simple slice of life series following the story about this girl who works for a like a dinosaur park. This one actually has a really interesting like kind of like dinosaur escapes, dinosaurs on the loose, so they have to try to capture it. So it's a pretty fun little like moment, a couple good really good chapters and some interesting insight to some of the other people working there. So yeah, another really good volume and another great series. Alright, up next, I decided to read the Volume 1 of Tales of the Tendo Family from Ken Saito. And wow, this was a crazy, chaotic, very strange and kind of messy, but really exciting and really dark series. Following a story about this girl here who kind of lives on her own, just kind of farming until she meets this woman who washes up near where she is. And the lady's like, I'm on the run from the Tendo family. I don't want to marry into them. It feels like they're going to kill me at any moment. And then the girl is like, okay, I'll replace you for that. So she decides to go there, and it gets twisted into this ridiculous family drama that's going on within the Tendo family. It is so messy, chaotic, dark, but man, I feel like this is going to be a really fun series to read. Really good first volume, really enjoyed it. Alright, I'm next excited to read the one-shot Call Me Princess from Tomoko Taniguchi. Yeah, this was an interesting one. Follows a story about this girl who loves like her brother-in-law because like one time she got saved from a tree and he called her princess and she was like, oh my gosh, she's so great, yay. So she's never been able to get rid of that crush until she finds someone else who calls her princess, and now she kind of has like a development of a crush on this other guy now as well. So it's kind of silly, it's kind of simple, it's not like the most intense or interesting series per se, but the art's pretty good, and yeah, happy I read it. I thought it was pretty nice. Alright, up next, decided to read the first volume of A Brief Moment of Ichika from Natsu Tadano. This one was really, really good. Was not expecting that to be the case, but basically follows a story about this girl here who has a life-threatening disease or illness, whatever it is. I can't remember exactly. I think it's some kind of cancer, I believe. Basically, she's given a time limit to live, but after she goes to college and meets this professor that she totally falls heads over heels with, she's managed to live past that moment, and as she's going to school, you know, she keeps continuing to live and be able to enjoy her life. Suddenly, the teacher quits, and a couple months later, she finds him at the train and comes to find out that he is also sick. So it's about their various like friendship and kind of maybe relationship building. It's really interesting. I actually really like this volume. It just feels very deep. It's pretty sad. Overall, really liked it. I thought it was a very good first volume. Alright, up next, decided to read volumes 3 through 8. I don't have all of them, but 3 through 8 here of Masahiro Shibata. This is Sarai. I don't know why I didn't say that, but basically follows a story about these battle maids who are assigned to various people to protect and do various other things. Yeah, I thought the series was okay. I think it relies too heavily on all of these like kind of sexual tropes, which I'm not really a big fan of, especially because it feels like almost it feels very misogynistic. Like this series, it feels like this is definitely written by a guy, and lo and behold, it is a guy. So why am I not surprised? The art's pretty good, but yeah, like the story parts are just like kind of weird, and there's a lot of just like naked women just doing stuff, and I don't know. I just wish it was better, because I feel like the series could have been really cool, but it just wasn't. So yeah, I liked it, but it hasn't aged very well. Alright, up next, excited to read the second volume of Gachiakuta from Kei Urana and Hideyoshi Ando. Really awesome series. I did actually review the first volume back during an FBI, but man, this second volume was a lot better, to be fair. I really liked the second volume. I thought it was really cool. Really enjoyed the action in this one. I liked the character developments for the main character and some of the other characters. Just got some absolutely gorgeous art across the board. Cannot wait for volume 3. Alright, up next, excited to read the only volume of My Gemini from Yu Morikawa, which is a really cool series. Follows a story about this kid here, John, who is friends with Jekyll and Hyde, these twins, and yeah, he's the only one that can really tell the difference between the two twins, and the twins like to play this game where they switch like egos, or whatever you want to call it, switch they become their alter egos. So like Jekyll becomes Hyde and Hyde becomes Jekyll. So after one of them passes away, and they believe it's going to be one of the brothers, John figures out that something's not quite right with the alive one. So he's trying to figure out who the correct brother is. It's a really sad and somber story, but I did very much enjoy it. I thought it was a really good one-shot. The art's really gorgeous, and yeah, it's got a pretty solid mystery from start to finish, so definitely give it a shot if you like that kind of stuff. Alright, up next, excited to read the second volume of March Comes In Like a Lion from Chika Umino. Love this second volume. I kind of wish it came out faster, but it is what it is. Definitely get more development and with the other characters, and just, yeah, love this series. It's a lot of fun. I like that it tackles more of like the humane aspect of being a pro as a high schooler, and the kind of like the ripple effects of that on the main character. So yeah, it's a really good series. Alright, up next, decided to read the 5th volume of Emma from Kaoru Mori. Absolutely love this series. I talk about it to death on this channel, and Kaoru Mori in general as well. But really cool to get some more short stories about some of the other characters other than Emma, and we get the final conclusion, which I didn't realize was in this, but really cool to see how happy everybody is at the end of the series. Love it so much. Love this series. It was fantastic. I still like A Bride Story more, but it's not by much. Emma is still a very, very good series. And last but not least, I decided to read 2 volumes of Sergeant Frog, volumes 8 and 9 from Mine Yoshizaki, which is a series that I've actually owned for a very long time, but I didn't get volumes until very recently. It's just a really silly series following the story about these alien frog dudes named Kororo and his gang of weird frog people as they are trying to take over the world, even though they really suck at taking over the world. So if you're looking for kind of a silly like alien series, yeah, definitely give it a shot. It's pretty funny, and I enjoyed these 2 volumes. It was just a great time. Anyways, that's going to be it for this reading log. Thank you so much for checking it out. Let me ask you a question. What did you read this past month in April? Or what are you reading right now? If you're watching this a little bit later, let me know in the comments down below. You know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things. Really appreciate it when you do that kind of stuff. And thank you to Regs C. Lee for your membership. Really appreciate it. You can get these videos a little bit early if you decide to join my membership, or if not, that's totally okay. Love you anyways. Thank you so much for watching. And that's going to be it for this one, so I'll see you in the next video.